Right, what's going on, guys? It's Dilly coming back at you with another video. Hopefully this one's recording. This is my first attempt, so you never know. I'm basically going to be bringing you today a Premier League review of the weekend's fixtures. I did try and make a preview in the past week, but I didn't really have time to do it. I've just never got free time. Well, I do have free time, but I've never got a free house, so that's basically the problem. Now I have, so I'm recording this for you. So we're going to get straight into it. We're going to go in chronological order just because it's a bit easier. I know some games are easier to mention than others, but and have bigger topics. But we're just going to touch on all of them because I'm sure, hopefully, I've got fans from most Premier League clubs watching, so everyone would like to see the teams mentioned. So we're going to start off with Tottenham 4, Watford 0. Pretty standard home win for Tottenham. I thought it'd be something like 3-4-0. Watford, a team on the beach, aren't not they're like too far above the relegation zone to go down, so they don't really need to play for much. Spurs are still trying to chase for Chelsea, and hopefully they catch them. But that's all I've got to say about that one. Just a superior team, quality-wise. It's what you'd expect, basically. Next one, we've got West Ham 1, Swansea 0. A very important game for Swansea. Not so much a West Ham, again, another team that aren't playing for much, but I think the quality just shone through on the day, to be honest with you. Kayat, I think it was with a screamer. That was a sick goal. But Swansea are in real trouble now. They're 2 points behind Hull with the same amount of games played, so I think they've got a slightly easier run in, but I think Hull will stay up if I'm going to predict anything. I don't know what I said in my previous videos, I can't remember, but I think Hull have got what it takes to stay up. Swansea aren't great defensively. They concede a lot of goals. They've gone back to like an expansive style, expansive style of play of like in football, like they did under Rodgers and Laudrup and stuff. So they're leaking goals. So I think they'll probably go down, but it's not done yet by any means. And what's unfortunately Stoke 1, Liverpool 2. Liverpool with like a 2-minute cameo, pretty much just ended Stoke. 2 goals in the space of like under 2 minutes. It was. Liverpool were really poor defensively in the first half. Walters with a decent goal, but wasn't being marked. Then Coutinho gets him back in it with a goal from around the edge of the box, just a scrappy rebound, and then Firmino scores a screamer to win it, and Stoke just couldn't come back. Um, in terms of the season overall, Liverpool getting close to that top 4 place now. Obviously, they haven't gained any points in anyone, but the more they keep winning, the closer it's getting them to getting in the top 4. Stoke, again, a lot of teams on the beach at this point in the season. Stoke are definitely one of them. Nothing really to play for, but it was a decent effort. Just a shame they couldn't get over the line in that one for our sake. West Brom 0, Southampton 1. Pretty surprising, excuse me, scoreline given how solid West Brom usually are at home and how they've been playing recently under Pulis. Yeah, again, there's a lot of games at this point in the season. There's not a lot to mention, but because in terms of where teams are going to finish, but yeah, a decent away win for Southampton. I know I'd be happy with winning 1-0 away at West Brom, so well done to them. We've got Middlesbrough Burnley 0-0. What the fuck did you expect? A ball draw 0-0. Middlesbrough keep up the fucking defensive record. Well done. Burnley again failing to win away from home. 2 things that you can predict: Middlesbrough not to concede at home against shit teams or smaller teams. Sorry, I like Burnley, and Burnley not to win away to any team. Burnley don't really need to do much at this point of the season. They're as good as staying up. And Borough again need to stay up and could have won the game. They had a few chances, but they didn't. So that's not going to help their cause. You got Man City 3, Hull City 1. Again, a bit like the Tottenham Watford game. Even though Hull have got a lot to fight for, 9 times out of 10 in games like this, the bigger team's going to win. They just got quality that will shine through on the pitch, and it did with their goals. I think Ranocchi got one back right near the end, 5 minutes from the end, from a shock goalkeeping mistake from Claudio Bravo. But I think City are pretty much nailed on for top 4 now after this. Again, no one drop points, but they just keep picking up points. If they do that, obviously they're going to finish there because it's in their hands. Hull, it's not a bad result. 3-1 away to City. A small team battling relegation in 17th. It's not the worst result ever. Obviously, Swansea didn't pick up any points either, so it's not really hindered them. But you can't expect them to get results in these games. They're bread and butter games, home games to like Sunderland that got left coming up. So I think, again, they're not expected to win that. It would have helped, but I still think they'll stay up. Bournemouth 3. Sorry, Bournemouth 3. Fucking hell, that would have been good. Bournemouth 1, Chelsea 3. This is like a pretty close game to start. I think Bournemouth got back into it 2-1 with Josh King with a really nice goal. It's deflected, but it was a decent goal. But again, Bournemouth, another team that aren't really playing for much, and Chelsea are just trucking away towards that title. And if they keep picking up points, they're going to win it. There's no one that's going to stop them at this point, I don't think. And we've got Sunderland, Man United, a pretty decent a performance from us. Not great. Again, we didn't really set the world alight with a performance. Just a standard away performance you expect a team of like higher quality. We weren't amazing. We didn't create loads of chances. We didn't absolutely batter them. But when we got our chances, the quality shone through, and players like Ibra and Rashford and Mickey scored. Three really good finishes, to be honest with you. And a talking point for the game was a red card for Seb Larsson for the tackle on Herrera. I think it's harsh, but if you look at the laws of the game, he's putting Herrera in danger. It's a leg-breaking challenge potentially. So in the laws of the game, I think was it Craig Pawson was right to give him a red card, but I think it was harsh. It definitely did kind of change the swing of the game, because at that point Sunderland was still kind of in it, even though we're winning 1-0, I think. But I still think we would have come out with a win in that game. It's just a bit of a shame. Usually, when smaller teams go down to 10 men against the bigger sides, they'll park the bus and they'll make it hard for the bigger team to score, and we'll really struggle like we did at home at Bournemouth. But Sunderland sort of just carried on. I don't think we always really gives a fuck anymore, to be honest with you. And they were pushing on even more in like the last minute when they're already 2-0 down. That's why Rashford scored. So Sunderland are down 10 points. Is it 10 points? Yeah, 10 points adrift with a game in hand, I think, but they're not going to win that, let's be honest. I think they're down. United, in terms of us in the top four, I think we could get it. I think, if you look at our fixtures, we've by far got harder fixtures than Liverpool and City. I think City are pretty much nailed on. Liverpool's still a bit but if you look at their fixtures, they got easy games, and the only saving grace in that is that Liverpool struggle in them easier games. So I think that's the only way we're going to get a top four, to be honest, because we struggle in the bigger games. So it's not really going to, it kind of evens itself out. But I think Liverpool would be expected to get the top four at this point, even though mathematically, probably if we win both our games in hand and get like 4 or 5 goals in them games, we'd be pretty much level on points and goal difference with them. And we've got Everton, Leicester, the late game on a Sunday. This was a really good game. Davies got them the lead after 30 seconds. It was really back and forth. Slimani with a good goal on the break, and Brighton with like a sort of Rooney against Stoke-esque free kick. It looked like a bit more of a cross, this one, though. Then Everton's quality again just shone through. Not shone. They just had a bit too much for them on the day, I think, to be honest with you. Lukaku with a couple of goals. Davis with one. And who got the other one, actually? I can't remember. I watched all the game as well. This is bad. Jagielka, that's it. Jagielka got his second goal in a row, so 2 goals in 2 games from him. A decent power and header into the far top corner off a corner kick. But yeah, it's Leicester have been on a really good run. They can afford to lose games now. They're out of the relegation battle. Shakespeare's managed them for 7 games now. He's only lost 1. That's no shame when you're Leicester really losing away to Everton. It's a decent result for Everton. I think that pretty much all but cements their top 7 place. It doesn't really mean much. But yeah, a good performance for them. Their quality just shone through. And now the big talking point of the weekend. Crystal Palace 3, Arsenal 0. That's it. Fuck it, I love watching this game. I was sat there absolutely pissing myself. I don't care. With the amount of sick memes we've had, us United fans had this season, I couldn't give a fuck what Arsenal fans think at this point. Your club is the bigger meme, alright? You're the bigger meme, not us. Absolutely abysmal. No shots on target in the second half. 3 shots on target, I think, in the first half. Not really coming close. Not creating any chances, despite what Wenger said in his post-match interview. And they just look hapless again. Yes, decent goal from Kabay. Couldn't really do anything about that. You can argue the penalty was maybe a bit of a dive, but in real time it looked like a stonewall penalty. Sloppy for Townsend's goal. Really bad marking and aerial duels. Gabriel just looked like a fucking child up against Benteke. They just, him and Mustafi, excuse me, just aren't strong centre-backs. The pussies, to be honest with you. The foreign centre-backs haven't played in like rough and tumble leagues before. Gabriel's come from La Liga, and so has Mustafi, and surprise, surprise, he can't handle the physicality of the Premier League. Who would have thought it? It's a bit of a Yadar thing to say, but it's true. Yeah, Palace deserve winners at the end of the day in the game. I think they only had 28% of the ball or something, but that doesn't matter in football, to be honest. Possession, they just created a lot of better chances. And I think Wenger needs to go after this, man. Again, it's not all the manager's fault. The players have got a big part of the blame to take. It's probably 50-50, to be honest with you. But it's a lot easier to sack one manager than to sack 25 players. So I think Wenger's got to go after this. He can't stay any longer. Arsenal fans were singing "You're not fit to wear the shirt," which is true. People were saying it was harsh, saying it to Bellerin when he came over. But he's been consistently bad now for a couple of months, and so have all the Arsenal players. So I think it's deserving, if anything. I wouldn't count them off the top 4 just yet, because, like I said, we've got a very hard fixture list. Liverpool slip up against the smaller teams. I can't remember what Arsenal's fixtures are looking like. We'll get them up for you quickly. But I wouldn't count them out. The 3 points off us, so if they win their game in hand or however many they've got, they'll still only be 3 points off Liverpool, which with 8-9 games to go is still very doable. They've got Borough away next week, which again I can realistically see them losing or drawing with how mentally weak they are at the moment. A Monday game, the Borough fans will probably be up for it because they've still got a slim chance of staying up. But after that, they've got Sunderland at home, Leicester at home, Tottenham away, which you could lose, United at home, which again, but then they've got Stoke and Everton. So they haven't got the easiest running either, but they've got an easier running than us. So I won't count them out just yet. They're still in with a chance. Hopefully they don't get it, but I think they could still do. My top 4 prediction still, I stand by it, even though it's possible that we could get it, but I think Liverpool will finish 4th, for City 3rd. So that's pretty much all I'm going to cover in today's video. There's not really much else to talk about, is there? I'll just check Sky Sports News to see if there's anything I've missed out on, because it wouldn't surprise me if I have missed out on something. No, not really. Europa League and Champions League coming up. We'll cover that. We'll have a little touch on them. Leicester have got Atletico Madrid. I think that's a Wednesday game in tomorrow. Atletico Madrid away, I think it is. They haven't got much of a chance. It's pretty much a worse team they could have drawn because they play Atletico Madrid away. They play a similar sort of brand of football, but with a lot more quality. You know, on the break with Griezmann and Guerrero and players like that, Gaetan, Carrasco. I don't think Leicester will have what it takes, and I think if Leicester perform anything like they did against Everton at the back with Benalouan and Hoof, because Morgan's out. Benalouan was the worst player on the pitch at a distance that Goodison Park. He was absolutely fucking awful. So I think if they perform like that, I could see them getting battered maybe 3-4, 5-0 even maybe. But again, if they stay solid, maybe take a 1-goal aggregate loss to King Power with an away goal, it'd be a decent result. But I can't see them getting it. I think Atletico Madrid's like inequality will just shine through in this. And United have got the only other English team in the champions. Jesus, maybe 5 years ago in European competition as well. So we've got Anderlecht away. I like to predict it's about 3 or 4-0 for this, but I think it'll be one of them European away games again, which United fans, are accustomed to this season. We'll play a pretty weakened team, probably about 5 or 6 changes from the league game before it, and probably get a shit 1-1 draw or a 1-0, 2-1 loss or something like that. It wouldn't surprise me at all. That's been the main feature of our European away games this season. We've not been great in any. We've won most of them, but we've drawn a couple. We score like the odd goal. So I'm predicting we'll go for a 1-0 United win. I'm going to go for just a pretty boring game. I still expect to go for a nat, and I think we need to win the Europa League now, which isn't a great thing to say to get top 4. It's not good relying on it, but I think Jose has made his mind up, unfortunately. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all we're going to cover. If there's any other footballing news, any big news, we'll cover that. I'll try and do a Premier League preview. I might record one after this, but I am busy after this, and as you know, I've mentioned my mic before, it doesn't like recording 2 times in a row, which is strange. So I probably won't do it now, but I will, if I definitely get time, I will definitely, I promise, make a Premier League preview for then a review after that at a similar time next week. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, be sure to drop a like. My last video did really well. I think it got, we'll just have a quick check. I haven't checked. It's been like 5 or 6 days now, which is bad. I shouldn't have left you for that long without an upload. But I think it's got a good 150 odd views, which for a channel of my size to be consistently getting over 100 views a video, in my opinion, is really good. So I'll have a quick look. It has 160 views in 6 days with 17 likes. That's pretty good. I got 41 subscribers, so I've gained a couple as well recently. So if I could do anything like that, I'll be really happy. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter @DillBarler and share it and retweet the link I'm going to tweet out if you want to be really good. But it's been Dill, guys. See you in a bit.